What's going on, guys? My name is Exotic Gaming, and welcome back to, yet again, another Pixel Gun 3D weapon review. We got the new 15.3.0 update a couple of days ago, and a weapon that's been generating a lot of buzz recently is the new backup weapon known as the Cyber Revolver. It looks really cool. And in today's video, we're going to be taking an in-depth look at that new Cyber Revolver and seeing whether or not it's worth it. So get strapped in, it's gonna be an awesome video. If you're signed into a YouTube account, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe down below if you haven't done so already for more awesome Pixel Gun 3D weapon reviews. With that being said, I guess we should probably jump into this. Going into the Armory section and heading over to our backup section, this is the Cyber Revolver. Now it looks cool. It's one of the cooler looking backup weapons in my personal opinion in Pixel Gun 3D. I can see why a lot of you guys are excited to see if this weapon is good or not. It's legendary, 93 firing rate, 14 capacity, and a 75 mobility. None of those stats really stand out to me. They're pretty average for backup weapons in Pixel Gun 3D, but it does slow down the target, and that's a very interesting special ability that not too many weapons have in Pixel Gun 3D, but is definitely worthy of noting. We'll see if that really plays too much of a part into whether or not you should get this weapon. Looking at this weapon, though, it looks really cool. Not entirely sure why the reload animation looked like that, but hey, who am I to judge? It does have a very slow mobility, I have to note that, considering it is just a single revolver. I'm a little confused sometimes with weapons in Pixel Gun 3D. You look at some of those massive special and heavy weapons, and they have like an 85 or a 90 mobility. Then you have this tiny little revolver, and it has a 75 mobility, and you're kind of just sitting there like, how does that make any sense? I have no idea. Another weapon that I really am confused about is the old Comrade. You guys probably remember that weapon. It's a very old weapon. Tiny little revolver, right? But that thing has a 75 mobility as well. And I'm kind of sitting there like, why does that thing not have a bigger mobility? I don't really know. Now, here's the thing, right? This thing is not one of your best backup weapons in Pixel Gun 3D. I want to make that clear here at the very beginning. This weapon is generally going to be about a 5-shot headshots. That doesn't sound too great. But here's the thing, right? This weapon is pretty fun to use just for the fact that it looks really cool and sort of similar to other weapons I have used in other video games in the past. Maybe you guys won't feel the same here, but there's a video game that I played long ago. I don't know if you guys remember a website called Miniclip Games. I mean, it is a game that... Wow, nice, falling through the map, that's always great. It's a game that is alive and well, a website that is probably one of the most popular browser websites for video games. And there's a game that was released about 10 years ago on that website called Obama Alien Defense. Pretty unusual name, right? Well, that game has weapons very similar to the Cyber Revolver. And it's worth noting, it does kind of bring back some sort of nostalgia for me personally, who has played that game and beaten that game God knows how many times when I was a little kid. I played that game a lot when I was a kid because, well, that was about all I had when I was a kid when I was playing my video games, my little flash games on my browser. I didn't really have much else. But as you can see here, that 5-shot headshot, it's probably not a 5-shot body shot, maybe more like a 7-shot body shot. It definitely hampers with how this weapon performs. You're not going to get that many kills when you use this weapon. That's the sad truth with this weapon. If you were to use this the entire length of a match, yeah, you might get 5 kills on average in a match that you go into, which isn't horrible, but there's definitely a lot more backup weapons you could use the entire length of a match. And well, you get a lot more kills using those weapons. But with the Cyber Revolver, you're just going to have to keep in mind, this is a true backup weapon. You're not going to be able to use this weapon the entire length of a match and then expect to actually get a lot of kills with it. You can if you're lucky, but the vast majority of the time, not going to happen. With this weapon, you're going to want to use this alongside other weapons in Pixel Gun 3D. So if we were to take some of the new weapons from this update, maybe the ultimatum, right? Shoot your ultimatum, don't quite finish the person off, but then take out your Cyber Revolver to finish off the person. And then it's going to take it from like a 5-shot headshot down to like a 1 or a 2 because they're almost dead already from your other weapon. And then the Cyber Revolver is just there to finish off the kill. It's really, it's a true backup weapon. As I just said before, you really can't use this thing the entire length of a match as I'm doing right here. The sole purpose of me doing that in this video is just to show you guys how this would perform in any circumstance. But if I was to do this off camera and just use the Cyber Revolver off camera, I wouldn't use it that much. I would use this thing as a true backup weapon. I would be using the ultimatum the vast majority of the time, maybe using my rocket hands on occasion, and then if both of those weapons maybe run out of ammo, or if I have to reload them and I don't have time to reload without dying, then I'll switch over to my Cyber Revolver and then finish off the person. That's how you have to use the Cyber Revolver. It's very important, or else, I mean, you guys have seen here, I'm dying most of the time. I mean, how are you going to beat a mech? Unless, like that. Okay, that was a bad example. But most of the time, you're not going to be able to beat things like mechs, like champion solar cannons, like some of the biggest and baddest sniper rifles of Pixel Gun 3D, even things like this guy is using the orbital pistol, which is a much better backup weapon than this one. There are a lot of backup weapons that are better than this one, but then again, this is a legendary weapon. It's not a mythical weapon, and it would make sense. You don't want to have weapons that are legendary and easier to obtain the most powerful weapons in Pixel Gun 3D. One of the things that was a problem like that was, if you guys remember, the Black Mamba. That one was one of the best primary weapons in Pixel Gun 3D, and the problem was, it was just a legendary weapon, right? So more people could get it, more people could use the true raw overpoweredness of that weapon, and then, well, they might have probably messed with the stats a little bit with that Black Mamba. So, you have to keep that into account here. You should be thankful that this weapon isn't more powerful because, well, what they would have ended up probably doing in the next update is just destroying this weapon completely, nerfing it down to the point where it just would have been completely useless, and then there would have been no point in ever using this weapon in Pixel Gun 3D. So at least there is a place for the Cyber Revolver. It's just not in the way that I'm using it right here, the entire length of the match, where you have one-shot area damage weapons that you have to try to beat, because the vast majority of the time, you're not going to beat those people. As you guys have seen here, it's been a struggle for me in this match. I've certainly not been getting the greatest gameplay in the world, and even if I was more accurate with my shots, it still would have been a very, very painful series of events because, I mean, you just have so many more powerful weapons in Pixel Gun 3D that you really just can't beat. So you would use other weapons, like your ultimatum, right? You might want to go melee only, use your Electrosphere, and then be like, oh god, I ran out of ammo, but that doesn't really work with the Electrosphere, so maybe that's a bad example. But you would want to use something else and then switch to your Cyber Revolver at random times. I just have to note that I'm doing pretty well right now with this Electrosphere, and I don't know why that is the case. It's almost like as if I'm invincible right now, which is, I wonder if that glitch is going on again. We're getting an unintentional, very, very high Electrosphere kill, guys. I wanted to go die, so then I could respawn with more ammo, but, well, you guys are seeing here, hey, Electrosphere still is a great weapon to use. Let's go quit. Let's go leave this match. I want to actually show you guys gameplay with the Cyber Revolver. Maybe some people are a little bit triggered that I left that match because I was getting a really good kill streak with the Electrosphere, but that's for the Electrosphere review. If you want to watch that, I already have that out on my channel. But yeah, guys, Cyber Revolver. One of those weapons that isn't really necessary in Pixel Gun 3D. Let's just cut to the facts here. This is not something you need in the game by any means at all. It's really a weapon that's going to require a lot of skill because the only way you're going to get some kills with this thing is if you land every single shot on an enemy and you get a lot of headshots when you're using the weapon, all right? Because if you're like me, who doesn't make all of his shots all the time, I'm not the most accurate person in the world, let's be clear. This is not going to be a weapon that I'm really going to do well with when I use, and that's going to be the same with you if you are in the same situation. So, I mean, you could get this weapon and use it to become more accurate at the game. That's always a possibility. You could play with this weapon, use this weapon in matches, maybe fail in the beginning, but then start to get more accurate. This might be a good weapon to use to determine your true sensitivity that you want to use when playing. That's another thing, right? Maybe you're kind of messing around with your sensitivities. You don't really know if you want a low sensitivity or a high sensitivity. With something like this, with the weird firing rate that it has, you can determine whether or not you want that specific set sensitivity after using this thing for a while. I like how when you hold this weapon's firing button down for a while, it doesn't lose accuracy. That is definitely something to note. That's really nice to have that. And maybe this weapon will perform a little bit better in your medium-range matches because of that. The fact of the matter is, most people go into close range. You guys want to see how this weapon performs in close range, and you guys saw from that last match in Silent School, it's not the greatest. So, yeah, use this weapon as it was originally intended to be used as. And this guy, the noob right there, got what he deserved. Almost was about to be killed by me. Switched over to a robot samurai because he couldn't handle death. Yeah, still got killed by the other guy. So yeah, I mean, this weapon is pretty good. It's pretty good. It's not the best backup weapon in the world, and in the end, if I was to rate this weapon between 1 and 10, I'd give this weapon like a 6.5 or a 7 in terms of backup weapons in Pixel Gun 3D. There's different ways you could use this weapon. Yeah, you could probably get a better kill streak if you were to use this weapon in medium range, like here in Paradise Resort, where you maybe stand back a little bit, use your scope, and then just in the end not encounter as many players in general. But in the end, I mean, you're most likely not going to get as many kills that way, so I don't know. It's really a trade-off. Use this weapon as it was supposed to be, as the true backup weapon, and then you're going to get the best possible gameplay with this thing. So what I would do, right? Use my football cannon, shoot this thing down at the enemy, blast them to bits, and then with the last little bit of health that they had, finish them off with the Cyber Revolver, and then get the job done. And that's what you should do. So, yeah, I don't really have much else I could possibly say here in this video, guys. I really hope you guys did enjoy this. This was a lot of fun reviewing the Cyber Revolver. It's not my favorite backup weapon for sure in Pixel Gun 3D. There are a lot of backup weapons I like more than this one, but it is something that's worth reviewing, and that's why you guys, I mean, you wanted to see it, so I'm doing it for you guys. Now, if you have not checked out my reviews on the Ultimatum or on the Rocket Hands, you definitely want to do so. They were freaking awesome. All right, they're on my channel. I might link them down below in the description, but there is going to be another video that's going to be posted up later today on my channel, and that is going to be a mystery. There are 2 other weapons that I currently have from this update. There are a couple that I haven't unlocked yet, mostly because they're like $300, and I'm not really willing to spend that amount of money. Weapons like the Cyber Slicer and the Neon Lightning. So, one of the 2. You never really know which one's going to be uploaded, but one of those will be uploaded in just a little bit on the channel, in about an hour after this video was uploaded. So if you're watching this about an hour after the video was uploaded, chances are it's already been posted on my channel. So, yeah, I'm going to leave this match here. I definitely am not doing too great against these people here. They're using some pretty OP weapons right now, so that's definitely not fun for me, using this thing, which is certainly not OP. And then, of course, there's somebody that has to be invisible, so that's always great. You gotta love the people that's being invisible. That's always fun. So, I'm gonna end it here, guys. In the end, don't get the Cyber Revolver. Save it for a better. Save your coins, save your gems for a better backup weapon in Pixel Gun 3D. It'll be worth it in the end. Don't get this thing. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you all for watching, guys. Hope you did enjoy. Leave a like if you did. Leave a like if you learned something new. Subscribe for more Pixel Gun 3D content. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next episode.